Now we're live.
I think so. Let me just double check on the page.
Live in the top corner. We are now live.
Okay, let me just check it's there. Oh, yes. Yeah, we're the best.
One day we'll figure out this technology.
If you guys notice let me share this over here. If you notice an echo or something, let us know and we'll throw on some headphones. But for now, we're just gonna chat and hopefully it doesn't echo too much. Okay, I think I got it live now. Hi, anybody who's joining us. Neeyaz and I are here for our tea time. We made tea today. Oh, yours looks prettier. What do you have in yours?
Little matcha with some collagen and cinnamon that I've like licked the top of.
Do you have any milk, non-dairy milks in there?
This one is oat. I only use oat milk. It's like completely organic, gluten-free, very clean.
Yes.
Or almond milk. That's it.
I've tried milk too. I like it. It's the cleanest ingredients, but I don't think it tastes as good as Oatly, which doesn't have the cleanest ingredients.
Not at all.
But Oatly tastes
definitely like thicker, like creamier, right?
Tastes, yeah. They actually have the regular Oatly that was really popular. Not the greatest because I think it has like I think it has grapeseed oil, which is not great.
No.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not great. But they actually have the low-fat version, which I'm not a fan of low-fat usually, because usually it means there's like lots of chemicals and just what they did to process it to make it low-fat. But Oatly's oat milk that is low-fat has very little additives to it. It doesn't have the grapeseed oil added to it. It does have some artificial vitamins and stuff added.
What makes it low-fat if it's oats?
They add fat to it. They add oil to it to make it creamy.
Oh.
So now they have a full fat one where they add DHA, and I haven't tried it because there's just way too many additives. We're talking about oat milk if you're joining us. So oat milk was like the hottest new milk last year. I guess Europe's been doing it for a long time, but it made its way to the States and exploded. Milk is the cleanest. It's really, if you guys have found milk, it's organic. It's like glyphosate free. It's just like water, salt, and oat, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a little textury for me. I've had it. Yeah. I mean, compared to Oatly's so smooth and creamy. Okay, you guys maybe really don't care about this, but anyways, we have some oat milk preferences. But
what are you drinking? You're not drinking matcha.
I am drinking chai tea, a black tea blend that has like some delicious spices in it. Oh, hi, Terry. Great question. I'm gonna if you're cool with it, I'm gonna put a question up here. She's asking if there's a certified gluten-free oat milk.
Yes. Milk is certified.
Milk is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Oatly claims that they're gluten-free, but I don't think they have any certification. They just say they are. I don't know about their glyphosate standpoint, which is not great. I think recently Oatly was like the most popular one that came on the market. And then they were, I think, initially producing it in Europe, and it was so good. And then they created a North American distribution, which messed everything. When the demand started, but the taste changed, but like it still tastes really good. It's like very widely available now. But Milk then came out with that certified glyphosate-free one. So yes, from like a health ingredient standpoint, Milk is definitely superior. From texture standpoint, Oatly is superior, but it's got some.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah, so I have Oatly in mine. I'm having the less healthy clean one, but I have a black tea chai blend, which has got like pepper. It's actually quite spicy. It's really delicious.
I love a good spicy chai.
Yeah, it's and I'm doing okay with caffeine lately. I'd sometimes do Numi's rooibos chai, which is like herbal. So if you guys can't have caffeine, this is really turning into tea time talk.
Was not.
If you can't, I'll show you next time what they look like. But New Me is a really lovely company in Oakland, I think, the Bay Area.
Are they? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they have really great herbal blends. So anyway, that's the tea we're drinking today. Let us know if you guys where you're watching from, if you're drinking tea or what your favorite tea is. And if you have any sort of like non-dairy milk that you love. So oat is a grain milk. So people who don't eat grains, then I think like if you can have nuts, like walnut milk is one of my favorites.
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry. Neeyaz can't have walnuts.
I can only have almond milk. Like it's the only nut milk that and pistachio milk. Those are the only two.
Okay. Pistachio milk is
so good.
Nut milk's walnut milk I like it a lot. There's a brand called Elmhurst that not organic, but very affordable. They sell them in like Sprouts and they're kind of on the shelf and they're literally just nuts and water, maybe salt. So I like that. There's no gums added. It's just they have walnut, they have hazelnut milk, they have cashew.
They're coming in the white cartons. They're like this rectangular. Yeah.
I have all of these in my pantry. I wish I had them to demonstrate. There's another question. I'm going to share Terry's next question. She had to cut out caffeine. Numi is spelled N-U-M-I. It's a really lovely, let me see if it's a really lovely company. I would really highly recommend their teas. I'm pretty sure they're just pretty conscious about a lot of things, like the tea bags they use. So Numi Tea, NUMIT.com.
I think their tea bags are also compostable, which is great.
Yeah. These are side facts. These are just like stuff that we're in all the time. So our nut milk, our non-dairy milks are a popular topic. Plastics. My friend posted the other day about how we're like having so much microplastic intake. Yeah. I think she said that on average, people eat about a credit card size amount of plastic a week in microplastics, which is insane. And one of the main top sources of that was water bottles, like people who drink out of plastic water bottles and use like plastic food. Obviously, don't put hot food in plastic or like microwave food in plastic, even if it says BPA free or whatever. Don't do it. Because BPA is just one of the things. There's I don't know, there's new chemicals that are not called BPA, but they're not necessarily safer. So in general, be suspicious of plastics. And we have this new streaming thing that we're using, this cute little duck thing. Can you guys see that? Anyways, I'm gonna actually show you Numi tea. Because we can stream all this now. So this is the tea that I do love.
Yeah. What are those super shots? That's new.
I don't know. I haven't explored their products. So I don't. I think these are mostly just tea and water, but I do love these tea bags. Then for the caffeine-free people, they have really lovely chai that I actually think tastes. This one actually tastes like a really nice chai, but it doesn't have caffeine. So do it. It's delicious. Caffeine-free. So they're lovely. I think they're owned by a lovely woman in Oakland. She's really great. So just share that with you guys. And then look at this. I'm going to look up all these for you. Elmhurst milk. This is the company that is available readily through like Sprouts and whatnot. So you can grab their nut milks, and I like them because there's no gums or additives like this.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. Look at that. And they're pretty affordable. They last long shelf life. That's so great. Anyway, this is our little tea time. I'm having my chai with my Oatly. But anyways, that is some nice additions you can try instead of milk. Right. So we're going to just hang out and chat. We're going to do this regularly. Neeyaz and I do this a lot privately. We get on We hang out, we chat, we get
like
some work
5-hour work days where we just talk for 4 hours and work for 1 hour. No, I'm kidding.
We send each other memes and talk about our latest happenings. So we're going to do that live with you guys, and we'd love for you to join in too. We actually do have the capability with this streaming thing we're doing to throw you onto video. If you really, really want, let us know, and we can add you to our tea time chat with video too. We can have up to 6 people. So let us know if you want to do that. If not, keep writing comments, and we'll put questions up on the screen and we'll share it. But anyways, we're just gonna kind of hang out and chat. So,
well, how are you doing? How's everything on your end?
Pretty good. I'm excited to kind of, like, I don't know, be a little more, I guess, social, if this is being social these days. Because these days I pretty much talk to my parents, my husband, my dog, and you.
Yeah, same.
That's my circle. So I love this Kanari group. I love this Kanari group. There's a lot of like stuff that gets me really depressed and really down when I'm working or browsing the internet or looking at stuff. And I am so always just like touched by how sweet everyone in this community is. So thank you for being here. How was your week, Neeyaz? Tell me, what were some highs and lows of your week?
Ooh, highs and lows. Highs of the week. Well, so Wednesdays are my designated days off, which you already know this, but I take every Wednesday off. I like to take it off in the middle of the week because it breaks my week up. I also just love Wednesdays because it means it's almost Thursday, which means it's almost Friday. I take every Wednesday off. And yesterday I went for a really long 2-3 hour walk by the beach, which was lovely. I went and sat in the water for a bit and got all sandy, and it was exactly what I needed. I needed to put my feet in to some sand and do some grounding. Lows of the week. I'm trying to think what was kind of low this week. I don't know if I would call this necessarily low, but I've been doing these deeper meditations lately, really long, deep meditations. I told you this earlier. And I did this meditation the other night that I didn't realize was an inner child healing meditation. And I bawled my eyes out. I cried so hard for so long that I was like, oh, I clearly still have some things I need to work through. So I don't know if it's necessarily a low, but I was not expecting to have such an emotional second half of my week, which I did. So I've been feeling the feels definitely the past 48 hours. I'm like, okay, I need to process some things. I need to kind of have a little bit of a deeper conversation with myself. So that's been that was unexpected, to say the least.
So it was it was like an audio recording, and you just sat there and you listened, and it walked you through memories, or what?
No, it was I'm reading this book right now actually I have the cover. She's one of my favorite meditation teachers. I take the cover thing off the books because it drives me crazy. The book is over there on the other side of my room, but the book is
the cover.
Heart-Minded, and Sarah Blondin is one of the most amazing meditation teachers ever. I first got introduced to her by one of my best friends, and I do her meditations on Insight Timer. And then she just wrote this book, and it just came out. Cool. And there's a chapter in this book that is all about sensitive souls and you as your sensitive seed. I actually need to send you this meditation, or I'm gonna send you this book. And I was reading the chapter, and I'm like, oh my God, this is speaking to me in so many different volumes. And every chapter has a meditation to it that you go online and you type in
cool.
and then you can do the meditation, and it's guided. And so I hit the meditation. I was like, okay, cool. 20 minutes, sitting in bed. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what this is going to be about. I'm closing my eyes. And then all of a sudden, I find myself hugging myself, and I'm literally balled over, crying my eyes out. I was like, okay, well, I did this in the morning to ground myself, but now I feel so sensitive and vulnerable. I feel like I need a hug. That was so intense. And then I read the chapter again later that night just to tie the ends all together, and I was like, that was really intense. But in
what did you do? So if you do something that kind of breaks you open, do you kind of rearrange your day so that you make sure that
well, this
like
happened yesterday morning. So thankfully it was like on my day off anyway. So that was part of the reason why I ended up like going to the water, because the water is very healing. So I was like, I need to be by water. So I went down to the beach, and it was like exactly what the medicine I needed. But yeah, anytime I have those kind of breakthroughs, I definitely will like rearrange my day, or at least like give myself like a buffer if I have something already pre-planned going on, where I'm like, hey, I need like an extra hour to just like reground myself a little bit. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I'm trying to think too. I mean, I definitely have those times, and I think that's a big thing for sensitive people, is sometimes they get really overwhelmed by something that might happen that wasn't planned, and it wasn't like, it might be an emotional thing, or it might be like a breakthrough, which is great, you know, but you need time to integrate that, because if you just kind of move forward, if you have like a breakthrough in a meditation thing like you were describing, or something that happens a lot with my patients, like I would have you know, my chiropractic patients, we would do energy work and we would do chiropractic adjustments, full body. And sometimes that would release a lot of stuff for them. Sometimes people would like start bawling on the table, or they would just be like, oh my God, I just had a flash of a memory of like a past relationship or something. And a lot of times I always made sure, if they had, you know, they didn't have to rush back to work on their lunch break or something. A lot of times I would just like be like, you know, that's really great, but I'm actually going to leave you in this room on the table alone for a bit. And I'd shut the door and let them rest and integrate. Because when you have a big release like that, you know, I talk a lot about this too when we talk about trauma healing and whatnot, but it's like when you're doing inner child stuff like you described, or if somebody just has like a somatic experience or an emotional experience stored somatically, when it's released, you have to give yourself some time to integrate it. Because otherwise you're just kind of pushing through, and you're going to create even more of a guarded, protected layer around it, which in some sense could like turn into a stronger trauma, or like a deeper trauma where that pattern gets more ingrained. So I know we'll get into those topics in the future when we get more into the subtleties of healing traumas, releasing kind of experiences, somatic experiences, but there's definitely some things that we can do. It's lovely when you have the free time, like the day off, like you're talking about, where you're like, oh, I feel moved to go to the beach right now. But sometimes we're at work, or we have to show up for our families or kids or whatever. So there are ways where we can kind of quickly regroup, or kind of in a healthy way, kind of use either energy medicine, touch, different types of mindset, or, you know, kind of rewiring techniques where we can get ourselves into a safe space again, so that we can carry on doing what we need to do.
No, totally. Whether that's journaling, whether that's a breathing exercise like a box breath, whether that's making yourself something really yummy and comforting and warm to have, like food obviously is a good way to nourish that back into you, or whether it's like hugging your kids, if that's available to you, like
touch. Really I think touch is a big one for sensitive people. So sometimes if, you know, somebody who you trust is around, like requesting a hug or letting them know something's up. But grounding's a really big one. And I know there's actually a lot of like physiological benefits to that too. Like,
I actually wrote about it today in a post on Instagram. All the benefits of grounding. It just happened.
Yeah. Well, check out Instagram today, or you can maybe cross-post it on the KANARI page. But yeah, the grounding, the negative ions, even like moving water, like the oceans or waterfalls, those sort of things actually help us ground. If you can't get outside, I think there's grounding mats too. So those are just some fun ideas. Feel free to like throw your stories in the comments too. If you guys have any questions or experiences with this stuff. We're just hanging out. It's tea time if you're joining us. We have our chai teas, our oat milks. Terry said she wants to get chai, and we gave a bunch of chai recommendations at the beginning of this. So check that out.
What are your highs and lows of the week?
So lows. I visited my parents this weekend. They're coming to visit me today, so that's nice that I get to hang out with them. But I guess I ran myself down because I was like working a lot. And then I went to go visit them, and just, I don't know, when I don't get enough, it's not that I was like, on tight deadlines or anything, but honestly, for my body, when I get less than 8 hours of sleep a night, even if I wake up feeling rested and I feel good for the whole day, it builds up for me. So, in my constitution and my body type and just in general, how my physiology works, I really need 8 hours or more of sleep. And I didn't get that. So I ran down, and then I got actually sick on Tuesday. We talked on Tuesday. You heard me. I was like, my brain wasn't working. I couldn't focus. I was like, remind me what we're doing. I was doing all that. So I didn't feel great. But thankfully I have a few tricks up my sleeve, most of which is homeopathic remedies, which are hard to teach and explain about to a certain degree because they're really personalized, but I loaded up on those, and Titus was really sweet to me and helped me kind of relax, kept telling me to get off the phone, get off my computer and sleep.
I know at one point I texted you and you were like, he would kill me if he knew I was on my phone.
He might see that. Yeah, so for the most part, I rested, but I really blasted myself with a couple homeopathic remedies that have been really magical to a certain degree every time I've gotten sick. And within not even a day, I woke up Wednesday feeling full cylinders running. Is that the metaphor? Running on all cylinders. So that was my low, but it's always cool to see these natural tools that I have that I've learned over the years that I can just immediately apply. One of them, and I'll tell you guys this too, because you can use it too. There's a homeopathic remedy that is actually available at CVS called Chestol. It's a cold and a cold and flu remedy. So whenever I get first signs of a sore throat or stuffy nose or whatever, I've used this for many years in the past, and I'm just shocked how well it works. So I combine Chestol. I'm shocked that, it's available at CVS, Walgreens. Chestol. It's a really good one. All homeopathic, so it doesn't have any there's no drowsy side effects. There's none of that. So if you guys feel any of that stuff coming on, give it a try sometimes. I find it to be really effective. And then I have this whole line of German homeopathics if people are into it.
Wellness formula is also great too.
What?
Wellness formula?
I don't think I've tried that one.
They have it at Whole Foods. They might have it at a CVS or something because it's not Whole Foods brand, but it's all herbal stuff. It's garlic and oregano, and onion, and everything. And you take it at the first sign of any cold, any sort of symptom, and it's gone within less than a day.
Awesome. Yeah, I actually am taking some herbal antimicrobials for SIBO and gut health stuff. So I think that probably helps. I take those pretty regularly right now because I'm on a protocol for that. But yeah, homeopathics. So I don't know if people are familiar with this, but homeopathic remedies are distinctly different than natural and herbal remedies. So for some people, combinations of that work. For some people, they do really well with herbs, and some people do really well with just homeopathics. Homeopathic, just to give you a general idea, is more honestly on the energy medicine spectrum of things. Traditionally, traditional homeopathy, when it was originally created, was it would take it's and the basis of the word is that you're treating same with same. So it's you're dosing something that is going to activate your own innate healing, your own immune response to it. And you're dosing it at such a microscopic level, even smaller than microscopic, that if you actually looked at the molecular makeup, there would be no substance there, but it has the energetic DNA fingerprint of the substance. So traditionally homeopathy was you would take arsenic or arnica, which is a really popular one. And they're usually poisons. They're usually some sort of remedy. You're treating same with same. And they would shake it, hand success it, and then put a drop into a new bottle, shake it, and then dilute it by thousands.
Yep.
That's a homeopathic remedy. I would put it more on the energy medicine side of the spectrum.
Totally.
And then herbal medicine. You want to tell us a little bit about herbal medicine and how that works?
Yeah, herbal medicine will essentially uses different herbs that you can find in nature. So things Milk thistle, which is like artichoke, dandelion. So things like ashwagandha, garlic, onion, fennel. Those are all like the types of herbs that are really supportive for liver and for digestion too. So I myself take milk thistle, which is an artichoke, dandelion, and there's another herbal in there. I can't remember the name of it. I think it might be fennel, like a blend. I also take a adrenal support, which has like ashwagandha in it and a bunch of other herbals that are, you know, super supportive. I used to take licorice. I don't take it anymore, but because I don't need to, but I used to take that for the time being. But it's much better. Ooh, Kelly's making a dandelion pesto as we speak.
Oh, I'm going to share that. Kelly.
Recipe.
Yes, Kelly is an amazing cook. Kelly, you might be able to tell there, is my sister-in-law.
Oh!
My husband's last name.
I love that.
She's a functional medicine health coach and an amazing cook. She is a brilliant cook extraordinaire.
Oh, I know the recipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious. So
we're gonna need you to hop on a tea time with us soon. And and share some recipes and stuff.
Yay, thank you.
Share it with us.
Love good herbal medicine. Always important to work with an herbalist or clinical herbalist who fully understands it, but you should not dose yourself, especially with things like adaptogens like ashwagandha and all. I see people really abuse it in a way that they shouldn't. So always important to make sure you're doing with somebody who understands it, but very, very beneficial when done correctly, as with everything else, but especially with herbal.
Yeah, I think so. With herbal medicine, sometimes it's misused, like you said. People use it, and this is where it's kind of grouped into this like field called green medicine, which is essentially like they're using it like drugs and pharmaceuticals, but like they're just using the natural remedy version, but it's like allopathic. It's like treating, it's like trying to combat a symptom, treating. It's not same, which is homeopathy. It's treating with opposite.
Yeah.
When it's used badly or incorrectly, it's kind of like green medicine. It's no different than just taking a pill to suppress a symptom. Exactly. But when you use it from a functional perspective, holistically, where you're looking for root cause imbalances, and you know, and that's why working with you know, a professional like herbalist or a functional medicine doctor who understands how to use herbs to address root cause issues is really important. But like you said, particularly people who are sensitive, which is probably everyone here, and with autoimmune conditions, with certain like chronic health conditions, some herbs can be aggravating, can cause adverse side effects. I mean, they're not harmless just because they're plants, you know, like they're going to change your physiology. So you want to make sure that it's matched appropriately to you. So there is a difference between homeopathy and herbal medicine. Generally, homeopathy does not have side effects. Generally, it will just have no effect. If you take the wrong matched remedy, it will just, as if you took nothing, it'll pass right through because it's an energetic medicine. And it's so diluted to the thousands and thousands, you know, fractions, that generally if you take the wrong homeopathic, I've seen some people like detox really fast and have like a healing crisis or that type of reaction with homeopathy. But I don't think and I work with incredibly sensitive people who can't like be in the same building as a perfume or, you know, just lots of food sensitivities, and particularly with high quality homeopathics. I have yet to have anyone have an adverse reaction with that. One other note I want to say about homeopathic remedies is the stuff that you get generally at Whole Foods and over the counter are usually these little pellets, and they're usually lactose based, which I don't love because I don't love.
Crazy.
So many people have you know, dairy reactions, and so it's you know, a lot of times when you talk to people, they're like, oh, it's such a small amount, it won't affect it, but I don't vibe with that, especially if you're very sensitive. There are ways of getting ones that are liquid-based, non-GMO, or sucrose-based, where they're like a little sugar pill, which I think have less of reactions than lactose. So just be mindful of that. But the Chestol is like that I told you about that you can get for colds. Chestol comes in it's like a cough syrup. It's like a children's medicine. It is sugar, but I don't know. I think the sugar helps deliver the homeopathics to the cells because our cells use yeah. As a former sugar addict, I love taking a dose of a shot of sugar. But the Chestol doesn't have lactose. Yeah, just syrup. So yeah, that was my low. That was a long explanation.
Larry's asking if there's a brand of homeopathic products that you like.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that question, but so yeah, I wish that I had a better answer and I keep trying to find like a source. So there is a source, a line that I love. It's available to professionals and it's imported from Germany and it's called Picana. And I will do a whole thing on this because it's just mind-blowingly effective in my practice with autoimmune people and sensitive people. And I keep it on my nightstand. Every time I travel, I make sure I have it. It's called Picana. It's imported from Germany. And it's all dairy-free, gluten-free. It's really great. If you can't get that line of stuff, and if you want that stuff, get in touch with me because I can have it shipped anywhere. I can drop ship it to you, so we can chat about that. But honestly, I have a hard time finding over-the-counter ones because like I don't remember the name of it. The really famous brand that they sell at Sprouts and Whole Foods and whatever, they're all lactose-based, which I don't love. There's a website I ordered mine from, like custom ordered them, and they were sucrose-based. And I forget the name of it. I'll put it in the comments after. But there's a website that I ordered like single remedy stuff from. Great. And one other line of homeopathic / cell salts that I love is Siddha or something. Let me pull this up and I'll show you. Do you use homeopathy, Neeyaz, or
not really, not too much. If I do, it's through my naturopathic doctor. But I have a clinical herbalist that I work with, and she creates like blends and stuff for me. So
yeah. So I think some people explore herbs a lot more. Some people, I think homeopathy is just not as popular in the States. It's really popular.
No, not, but it's fascinating.
It's really popular in Europe. But okay, I'm going to pull this up and show you because I think this line of stuff is also amazing and very readily available. So let me share with you, screen share right here. This line of homeopathics, you can order them online. They are available. I've seen them. I don't know if you guys have Sprouts. We have Sprouts everywhere in California, but they have a blend of like cell salts. These are sprays. They're gluten-free, dairy-free. And there is a throat spray and a lung sinus spray that is, I think, just works phenomenally. I have a weakness for sore throats, mucous membrane inflammation. Mucous membranes like lung, throat, like gut, nasal passages.
I have it all here and throat. That's where I get it. Yeah. And
that's like if I'm worn down, if I'm tired, that's the first signs of stuff. So the Picana stuff has been my savior. It's if you guys are interested in that, reach out to me because I can drop ship it to you. But this stuff, the lung and sinus, but more in particular, the throat and voice one is a really lovely remedy. These bottles, like $14.99, it says online. I think that's how much it is at Sprouts. It's really great. They have blood sugar ones. They have female hormone ones. And it's just like, I don't know if it's Bach flower or just like flower essences in these plus cell salts.
I have a really great little flower essence that my herbalist made me. It's actually very cute.
Flower essences are also really lovely. They're kind of like in between this like herbal homeopathic blend. Look at that. If you guys haven't explored any of these types of approaches, they're really effective and really powerful, particularly if you're a sensitive person, because sometimes, sensitive people tend to have like more likely reactions to, over-the-counter or prescription medications, herbs, different types of remedies. So these are really lovely, gentle ones that you can keep on hand. I always keep them in my little like natural medicine cabinet. So that I guess that was my low, but it was cool because I had I was feeling run down, but I did all this stuff, snapped back super fast. The next day I woke up, I was feeling great. So these are things that you guys can get like at Walgreens or Sprouts, if you feel the first aspects of that. And then my high for this week, I actually, even though I was kind of feeling run down and sick, the day we worked together, we did our live workshop.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That was so fun.
And yeah, so if you guys know or you don't know, we started the KANARI Thyroid Club, and we are covering all things thyroid this month. Gosh, now I'm all into the screen sharing stuff. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm a very visual person. I'm going to show you a little.
Like, can I share my screen? I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, are you asking me that? Oh, no, you're making fun of me. I thought you were asking me to share your screen.
Endearing. I love it. No, because I'm also very visual. So I'm like, can you just show me what you're talking about?
So I want to show you guys this.
Good. Carrie loves the visuals, so we're gonna keep doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're really bad at like announcing stuff. So this month we launched this adorable membership club that we designed. We did it all ourselves. But we started out as the Thyroid Club, and this is the back end of it, and it's super cute. And we made all the graphics and everything. You want to tell them a little bit about the Thyroid Club?
So the way that Natasha and I met, first of all, we've never met in person, which I think is amazing. But when we did like have our first Zoom tea time, really, it was like a tea date. We started talking about our own journeys with thyroid disease. Yours with Hashimoto's, and mine with Graves. And we found so much synergy between our healing stories that we also realized we both had so much information that was really valuable to share with communities who are also faced with thyroid disease, or maybe who are not, and they're just curious about ways to keep their thyroid really optimal and healthy. So we decided to kind of bring our brains together and bring all of our resources together into one cohesive space where we can offer people this information, information that's digestible, that's bite-sized, that is truthful, that's evidence-based. So there's so much information already out there, especially related to thyroid health. I see so much stuff being shared all the time, and it can be really overwhelming. And I can't imagine somebody being diagnosed now and trying to navigate through all of it. It's a lot. So we've taken basically everything and put it all into this community where we're sharing what's worked for us, giving you the education behind like what is the thyroid, the anatomy of it, but also like all the different healing practices that really make a massive difference on your total constitution, not just your thyroid, but your endocrine system and your immune system and your respiratory system and all of it. So we're going deep.
I think also, sorry to jump in.
No,
like because there is a lot of stuff out there, like you've said, and a lot of it covers great information, which we're covering like 101 on all of that. But Neeyaz and I have a very specific interest in like mind body medicine, energy medicine, more kind of sensitive and I want to say magical approaches to things, where things are a little bit more like holistic and artistic and creative and integrated. So it's mind, body, spirit. So we're covering things that are like lab testing and functional medicine and all that, which is out there. And then we're also covering things that are more about like how like inner child meditations and, like energy medicine and things like that. So it's really bringing together the worlds of a lot of the science-based stuff, but also a lot more of the esoteric and the emotional-based stuff.
Exactly.
So that's what this is.
We're very excited. But if you actually sign up to join this club in the month of July, you lock in the early bird rate of $5 a month for the lifetime of the club. So as long as the club is existing, which we hope it will just continue to exist until you and I heave over, it will be $5 a month. So if this is something that we'd be interested in, if this is something that sounds, something that you need or, you want to be.
I just wanted to show you guys the backside. Yeah. this is where you would log in. And then, you know, in here, there's like the portal where you can, and then we have all these recipes, which are like custom recipes. Neeyaz and I are putting up there. Curated collection is like, so I am like, have this weird love of like reviewing stuff where I'm just like, this is the best of the best, where I just compare it to everything. So like basically all the stuff that the way that we talked about oat milk this morning, that's what I do with every product that's in my house. So like I look at the ingredients, I look at like the company, the mission behind it, the pros and cons of like using something. So that's what we're putting in the curated collection, is just like KANARI approved foods, products, household things, like things that we're just like, we love this and we recommend it. And then we have this live call coming up. So this is the portal. It's just a sneak peek. I'm not going to show you all the cool stuff behind it, but
you can see the insights.
Yeah, $5, guys. It's like paying for us to host it. Like it's what's paying for. Like we're not making bank on you just to do that. It's just like every member we have, we need to pay online hosting. So, you know, it's also like we really want to be able to provide affordable, holistic healthcare for people. Like it's not cheap to like customize stuff. It's not cheap to like do this, but this information's there, and if we can provide it, we'd love to do it in a community setting. So here, one more visual, guys. We're doing a live call next week.
Tuesday,
It's July, and this is what Tuesday we worked on. This was a high. We just had like, I did a big workshop with Neeyaz, and we put together our whole slideshow. Look, it's all here. So
that's all we're showing you because that's not fully
done. No, I'm just gonna fly through it. It's here, guys. There's like a lot of really awesome information. So that's all I'm showing you now. We're doing that next Tuesday. It's gonna be a live call. We're answering questions. We're giving away free downloads, like actual guides you can use at home. So that was really fun to make this week. That was my high this week.
I love that. It was a high. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know in the comments. And let us know. Oh, we have a question here. Thanks for being engaged, Terry. We love questions. Okay. So how do you approach the energy medicine in the group? That's something I've wanted to get into, but it's expensive. If I can do it on my own, that would be a good start for me.
Yeah.
That is a great question. So, I
myself practice at home energy work. Basically, okay, so let me back up. We ourselves, as human bodies, we're made up mostly of energy. Our body is mostly made up of energy more than it is like actually physical matter. So when we're even sitting down right now, like you and I both are, we're both still producing over 100 to 500 watts of energy, depending on how much you're fidgeting, how much you're moving your hands and your head and all of that. So the importance of having energy work in conjunction with nutrition, which is also energy, but in conjunction with all those other modalities makes a massive difference in your healing journey and your healing approach. So and energy medicine doesn't have to necessarily be expensive, like Natasha was just mentioning. So, you know, there are other modalities that are available that are fantastic, but it might be a little bit expensive. You might have to budget that out. So for her and I, what's really important is finding things that you can just easily do at home that can support your energetic body and still have that be a source of energy medicine. So whether that is, for me personally, I love doing affirmation meditation or mantra meditation where I'm actually speaking out loud. That's my energetic body meeting my spiritual body, and that is a form of energy medicine. Or even teaching somebody how to become intuitive or be an intuitive person in their body and understanding when something doesn't feel balanced. So like, Natasha, you weren't feeling good like a couple days ago, and you know off the bat for you, sleeping less than 8 hours a night is going to eventually catch up to you. That's you being intuitive with your body and understanding that. For you. I'm the same way too. Becoming like an intuitive, I air quote it because it's, you know, it can become a mainstream word, but becoming an intuitive is a form of energy medicine, is a form of addressing your energetic body. So we're going to be diving into a lot other deeper types of energy medicine that you can easily do at home and, you know, without breaking the bank, but will make a massive difference in your journey and really help to move the needle.
So yeah, I think that's a great way of addressing how we approach energy medicine. So, I mean, we've both studied a lot of it before we met each other. It's like it was a big healing tool for our respective journeys. So I think that was really exciting when we met each other, because I've met a lot of people in the thyroid or autoimmune communities or healing communities, and they don't often overlap with having like autoimmune experience and energy medicine experience and all of that. So I myself am a chiropractor and an energy medicine practitioner. So I'm very like well versed in how to do somatic therapies on the body. I've experienced a lot of it. I was like a very proactive patient before I became a doctor. I saw a lot of chiropractors, a lot of energy healers. There's a lot of techniques. So one of the ways that where I'm going to approach it in the club is actually teach you the spectrum of like how we did today. What's the difference between herbals and homeopathics? Because a lot of people just use them synonymously and they're not. Same with energy medicine. There's a whole spectrum of energy medicine and body work. Some of it can be done on yourself. Some of it you do need like someone else's assistance to help you with it. But I love teaching people like kind of that behind the scenes stuff. Like this is the difference between this technique and this technique. That being said, it's not something that's inaccessible to anybody at home. So like, for example, I have a lot of resources. I have a lot of books, but like I have like great resources that actually show where to place the hands, how to do different things at home, body work, different, like this is a lovely illustrative book that, I'm just going to, you can buy all these books too. I'm happy to recommend great books. But this just has great illustrations. It talks about where to put the hands. We're going to talk about the chakra systems. That was my introduction.
This one book that I have, it's called Energy Medicine, and it's incredible, but it's essentially the same realm of what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, we have lots of recommendations in that regard, but we're basically going to teach you the Spark Note. I'm a Spark Note junkie. Like I read Spark Notes all through high school. So I love putting information into SparkNote guides where it's like a conglomeration of everything you really need to know to take action. So a lot of it might be based in chakra systems or meridian systems. And once you learn those, you can get really creative. So I hope we're answering your question, but that, and then by extension of that, energy medicine also includes light therapy, sound therapy, all of that sort of stuff. So I made a post on my Instagram earlier this week that people were really curious about lasers, red light therapy, infrared. Those are all types of energy wavelengths. So eventually, like in that group, we're teaching you how to have access to those things and use them as needed. Like she said, Neeyaz was like, part of this process is learning to be intuitive and know when to match appropriate things to yourself and your body. So that's a very kind of roundabout way of kind of talking about our general approach to it. But there are things where, again, it can be expensive, not always. It can be expensive if you are investing in that for long-term, healing practices, which I think are really worth it. I went to my body worker initially when I was at rock bottom. I went to my chiropractor and energy worker literally every day. Go to my chiropractor Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and my energy therapist Tuesday, Thursday. And I did that for a couple months, and it changed my life, but it was an investment. But you gotta, invest in what's important to you and what you can. And find ways to also learn these things, empower yourself to learn them so that you, become empowered. That's part of this process too. Like Neeyaz and I are trying to educate and empower people so that they can be their own self-healers and also know where to go to invest in getting help from others. So I hope that answers your question. So that's a big part of the mind body stuff. And then of course there's, like, if you want to talk about more of the mind mindset aspect of it, there's a lot of like really great assessment things, journaling practices, and and we're gonna put that link. Actually, can I just write it in right now? Let me go to Facebook and write it in right now. So here's the link I'm going to write into the comments right now. This is the link to get the early bird discount. If you're watching this like as a replay way in the future, I'm sorry if the discount is not available anymore. This is the early
30, what is it, 31st? Is that how many days we have in July? 30.
I don't know.
Yeah,
so did that link work? No. Oh yes, now it did. Okay. So if you guys click on that link, it might take a second to load it as a link. This is $25 off of the monthly. So it makes it $5 a month. So that's the link. Anyways, we're going to be here. We're going to be doing tea times here, just like this, but it's us drinking tea and chatting. If you guys can, if you want to type this in, this is the link for the early bird discount. If you're watching a replay, I'm sorry if you don't get the early bird discount. That's early bird gets the worm, right? So that's the club link. I want to tell you guys a little secret about this club if you're watching this. I hope you're okay with me telling this, Neeyaz. So we're covering thyroid stuff. It's called the Thyroid Club. But to be honest, like the thyroid isn't isolated from the rest of our body and our health. So we're actually probably going to rename it very soon, or it's just going to be like the Canary Club, because we're going to cover all things thyroid. If you have thyroid questions, bring them to us. But really, it's more about a mind-body healing journey, because we're going to get into all of that stuff like leaky gut and energy medicine. And none of this stuff is like specific to thyroid, but even though we're going to provide specific thyroid information for thyroid eye disease, Graves, Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, general thyroid wellness, we also are going to speak to like much bigger topics. So if you're just a sensitive person or you know somebody who's sensitive who doesn't have a thyroid issue and you're like, well, it's not just for thyroid people. So that's a secret. If you ended up staying with us for 51 minutes and you caught that secret, you'll find out sooner or later. But
making it 51 minutes through.
We love you for hanging out with us because Neeyaz and I do this for hours every day. So yeah, we're going to be coming on every week here. We could try to do Thursdays if Thursdays work for you guys. Thursday afternoons. We'll be here doing tea time.
We'll be here. We'll be Instagram living. So stay in touch with us.
Do you have any things you want to add, Neeyaz? Leave anything out?
Not necessarily. We kind of hit it all on the head.
If you're watching live or if you're watching a replay, let us know if you have any questions. We'll answer. If we can't answer live, we'll answer in the comments.
We'll answer later.
But yeah, I don't know if you're watching this on my Facebook page or in the Canary group, but it's just such a lovely community. We have a lot of members in there now, and we have, I didn't show this to you. We have like a personalized thyroid intake and assessment where everyone fills out their own information, lets us know their story, their history, and everyone is just so sweet. We love them. They're like very positive, lovely, sweet people, just like Kelly.
So thank you, Callie.
So yeah, I think that my tea's almost done. That's tea time for today.
That's exactly tea time for today. I'm like done.
So it was great hanging out and chatting with everyone here. If you have any questions or thoughts or anything, even suggestions, the group is a community-based group.
Yes.
Both this one, this public-facing one, but also the private one. So in that private one or whatever, send us a message. We can answer it. Yeah. Oh, I had a few frequently asked questions about the Thyroid Club. One, it's not hosted on Facebook, which is a very conscious decision. We're here on Facebook. We're in the Canary group in Facebook, and we love that. We love that everyone has activity there, but we have made a conscious effort to put this group on a private server outside of Facebook. It's just our platform.
Yep.
So however you think about that, we have, our conscious reasons around that. So That's one question I get a lot. Second question I get is like, can international people join this group? Is it relevant? Wonderful question. And absolutely, it's all like virtual. It's all information you can use at home. When we make recommendations, generally they're going to be things that you can get in your local distribution markets or some equivalent. The only thing that international people don't have access to is our supplement discount store. So if you're trying to order supplements through our member discount, unfortunately, it's just ships in the US. So that was the other question. There was one more, but I can't remember it. So thanks. Thanks, Kelly. We love you too. And we'll see you all soon.
Yay.
Okay.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.